All right, are we live? Let's see. I feel like normally YouTube tells me that I'm live, and it's not saying that. Oh, there it is. Okay. All right, so I am back with some more Nabaa testing. This time we are testing in Awake and aiming for being able to expand with Malika. So that is what we are after. So our god, go ahead and go through in a second, I suppose. Our god is this Awake statue, wooden colossus. So it is not a full Titan, or at least not a normal Titan, but it is an innate spellcaster. It does have full slots, and certainly as part of an army, it can defend us, and with the right gear, it can teleport onto enemies. So this is a much more defensive option compared to obviously taking an imprisoned. And we could fit, so our bless is double reinvigoration, Farcaster, regeneration, and blood surge. And you could technically fit this with +1 scale. You can see our scales are not good. You could technically, hello. Hi, cookies. You could technically fit this on a Beetle, and you get one more scale, but I don't think that's worth it. I think you're better off having this quasi-Titan to help defend. So the idea here is Construction 2, Alt 3, and then we're going to try and expand with our Malika. And the idea compared to the Scales expansion is, one, I think it is... from some previous testing I did offline, it's a little bit faster. You can get a little bit more provinces, but yes, hopefully. I haven't gotten that far. No spoilers. But so the idea being that you get to the end with all these Malika, and then when you go to a first war, you can very much do like a mixture of bird, elf on the opponent and hit them with a bunch of Malika thugs, as well as your camel riders, and then the rest of your army, and sort of push in through and like quickly take a whole bunch of enemy territory. So we'll send him out there and we'll start heading out. So we should not do that. I didn't recruit anything. Let's try that one again. Recruiting things is a key part of expanding. I got too distracted in my explanation. Okay, let's try that one again. What I've been recruiting, let's start here, is one of these little guys, and then a bunch of camels. Oh no, you're good. Yes, gotta get the camels. And then research, profit, explore. We had better research last time, but that's just how it goes. Okay. So I have found that this starting group is sufficient to take a decent amount of different PD, or not PD, indies that exist out there. Archers, I think, is what I like. Double Sermon, and then Word of Thorns. And these guys can usually take something that's easy. They're not going to take anything too hard, but they can get the ball rolling. Militias, Archers, and Light Infantry is 50. 40's better. 20's better still, but we do really want there's a lot of resources over here. I'm surprised there are so many resources in this province, because usually the ghouls kind of, torch the population, which they did. I'm surprised there's so many resources. Are resources not impacted by population? I think we're going to try this. I think we need to recruit. So the plan is, yes, the heavy. That's absolutely right. And somebody mentioned the other day too. The heavy cav, or the camels do a lot of work against the heavy cav. That is definitely accurate. I think we're going to recruit this guy. And then we're going to start recruiting our sacreds, which we don't get very many of. But that's okay. I think this is fine. We'll see if we manage to win this one. I've generally found that we're pretty good against these groups. The birds do a decent amount at sort of disrupting their formations. We have a lot of arrows. And then our Adites are also pretty strong. It looks like I could have put them a little bit farther forward, but I think their formation's actually going to hold okay here. Hopefully we're going to rout these guys before these guys make it into combat. It's going to be the hope here, although these guys look like they might try and bypass our troops entirely. Which is a little dangerous. These guys are definitely fragile. Yeah. That's not ideal. We really want to catch them. These guys have decent defense. They're not going to like immediately crumble, but they're not going to hold out very long against a determined assault by infantry. We need to make contact here and rout these guys before they kill enough of us that we rout. Losing our camels also really hurts our ability to continue expanding. So we did win, but it looks like it's going to cost us all of our camels. The last one retreated, and he did make it, but still, that hurts. +2 nature gems. +2 nature gems is actually kind of huge. Yeah, it certainly is a bird nation in some respect. I think it's kind of both. It's a really interesting nation. I'm very excited to try it. They do have the scimitars, so we can try putting them more in front. I think this group now is not going to beat the heavy cav. They can't make it there. I think they're going to expand here. I definitely don't want to try them against the Lavaborn. And then we can start recruiting some camels. Here, I think we're going to switch to our Malika. And then as many of these guys as we can sort of muster. And we're going to keep researching. Yeah, scout, get out there and do scout things. I suppose I could have shifted the script here. Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, they are, like, you have a lot of flying units. Obviously, you don't have, like, flying troops, so you can't do, like, true birdings. But your Malika fly and your Summon Jinn fly. So you can do a lot of bird raiding. Which is pretty nice. What are we doing? Troops. Alright, out. Catch them! Lost one Desert Warrior. Yeah, probably to an archer. That's okay. I think we're just gonna keep trying this group. Here, our Malika's coming up. Next turn, we'll start sending out our Janguard. It's unfortunate that I don't think we had another group. No, like this group moved here and didn't have a good way to kill either of these. But it's tricky. Let's see, try doing 3 labs around the cap instead of a fort. Sure. So this build we're going to start Alt 3, or Construction 2, Alt 3, and then we're headed to Enchantment 3, and then it's either Enchantment 4 or Alt 4, and then the other one. So the goal is to end up with Malika Thugs, who can take essentially an unlimited amount of, maybe not an unlimited amount of PD, but kind of any reasonable amount of PD. And then you back them up with your foreign recruit archers, who have all got flaming arrows and wind guide for a first war. Now that obviously, that doesn't work against every nation. There are a couple different ones that are out there you got to kind of watch out for. But against the ones that it works against, I think that is like a decent plan. There are others where you probably need to just go for like elementals, or you have other options. It is still flexible. This looks like we might lose. There are a lot of heavy infantry. Okay, the heavy infantry missed. Wow, our dudes are like, they are not interested in fighting heavy infantry. I hope we did rout them. Okay, our army's just about done though. There's gonna be nobody left here, just the Adites. Still, they did okay. They're gonna march back home. Honestly, they might be able to kill Lion Tribe. Well, we're expansion testing. Yeah, they're more elf than bird. I certainly agree with that, but this group holds blessing, blessing, blessing. We can put this guy in as a bodyguard. Sure. One giant in front of the archers. Okay, we can try that. Try that next time. We're gonna try to take out these ghouls, just because this has so many resources. Unfortunately, I should have made something last turn. I messed up the order. I think when you're doing this, you do want to be very particular with what you're doing, because it takes, so with all three, I'm still trying to find the optimal configuration here of what gear you need. Oh, sure. Yeah, I guess we're up against the undead. This guy will do better. Fair enough. We'll send him instead. You stay here and research. Need another Malika. He does need orders, though. Death, final rest. Okay, that part's fine, that part's fine. We need to start making our gear. So, the tricky part is we got a fire Malika, which is not ideally, we would be looking at this point, I think, for the nature one opens up a lot of options because, so the Malika need a couple pieces of gear to expand from testing. I'm still trying to find the absolute minimum, but it seems like they need a little bit. They really want a piece of armor, and they really want a weapon because they have this terrible little dagger that's not killing much of anybody. And so the armor, the best thing is if you manage to get an earth nature, you can make the lion pelt if you get super lucky with the gems, or like in a real game you might try to trade for them, but you're not very likely to. Much more likely is you're gonna have to make something else. Yeah, the strong priests are definitely gonna help. You can make like a black steel plate. You can make these lightweight armors. You can make, well, yeah. Macone is not, that's not the kind of priest they do. You can make an enchanted ringmail. You have a couple of different options. Given what we have access to, and the other thing is you need the weapon. And I think the best, no, they don't have, well, they actually, I mean, they have a lot of sacreds. Their priests are inquisitors. They're good at, inquisiting. I think the best weapon that you can send the Malika out with is this Halberd of Might, because it's length 3. So it has one less point of defense than the Great Sword of Sharpness, but you're going to lose most of your defense anyway, and so I think you're better off with the repel. So you're going to spend your earth gems on this halberd. That means you need to spend different gems on your... Yeah, you could try a Mace of Eruption. What is that? That is fire? You could try a Mace of Eruption too. You're going to have less repelling, which will deal more damage, but it does cost 10 fire gems. So unless you get kind of lucky with an event, you have to wait 10 turns to get that, which is a decently long time. This guy could forge, again, if I was a little more on the ball, this guy could have forged the astral one last turn, but he didn't. It would be nice. You just don't have the fire gems. So we'll try one of these an air option. Like just a lightweight scale mail should be fine. I don't know that you need the helmet. We'll try this. Research wise, we're still working on getting to our goals. Oh, I probably could have rescripted it. I think that the goal, so the Stinger and the Shield might be stronger. I think the goal is to spend as few gems as possible. This is terribly done. I forgot to rescript. I forgot to put this guy in the back. So let's hope that he gets saved by our troops here. It looks like we're going to be okay. I think the goal is just to get out of this spending as few gems as possible, and then you can look to upgrade the kits when you're going into real combat later potentially. But early on, you just don't have a lot of gems. Looks like we're going to be fine. Yeah, lost nobody. And then this one, I don't think we're going to win. We sent 6 guys and a prophet in against up to 40, or potentially more than 40 Lion Tribe. Well, the Lion Tribe are bad. There they go. And we're going to crash into the archers. Oh, Lion Tribe. That's funny. And we picked up another 2 nature gems. So that's nice. We're still looking. We have a couple turns left on all 3 here. We need to research. Yeah, they do scare lizards. You definitely want to be careful. So far, I have not run into any issues, for the most part, expanding with them. As long as you avoid barbarians, they're not going to kill heavy infantry. I think it's this group has done their job. It's time to go back. Again, this one is just for sort of proof of concept a little bit. We'll try another one after this and try and do a better job of really watching all the stuff that we're doing. Like, I think we probably made the Malika a turn too early. We could have really used another guy here researching, and he could have forged, and then we could be sending somebody out to go and start making labs. What was here? Nothing here. This group, I think, let's put you back where you belong. They can expand this way. Oh, there's more undead. Dios mio. We'll come back for them. Let's get our cap circle going first. 3, we've got another 5 coming out next turn. Yeah. So, and these guys have regen, they have glamour, so they don't love arrows. But they don't have, like, blood bond or anything, right? They regenerate only 3 a turn. They're fine, but they're not, like, insane. But they're doing the job here. They got this one. 70 is a lot of undead. But not impossible. I have never played them in multiplayer. I have no idea. Okay, let's do it this. Expand here. 94. Okay, well, our Malika will be ready to go out next turn. I think we actually want to just take a turn off of Malika, just 1 turn here. Get one other little guy going to go get our labs up. Alright, let's see. Oops. Let's see what happened here. He just got yoinked. Ah, oh, that is a danger. They maybe could have been placed more forward. Alright, troops, focus up. Kill the cavalry. Okay, that is too many long dead for this group to handle. Not a good turn. So 7 can't beat 50 undead. Oh, you can't see the sights. That's cool. Plus unrest and misfortune. Good, good. Alright, well, the important part is we can check our Malika out this turn. So I think for scripting wise, it is Iron Skin, Blessing, Arrow Shield, Mist Form. Put her in the back, and then we'll see if these 2 items are enough. Yeah, that was a lot of long dead, but it is what it is. These guys can go here. I think that I think this is about how far you can get up and get the blessing to still work. Actually, he could Iron Skin. Maybe we put them, now that we have let's put them a little bit farther back. This guy can start with an Iron Skin so he doesn't get sniped like he did last time. Okay, let's go do that one again. Let's send our Malika out. Abyssian infantry. Why are there Abyssian infantries here? It's not where they're supposed to be. Back to Malika. We have some extra stuff. We can start getting some additional troops. Let's do the archer for now. Well, I don't know when I'm hosting another, so I wouldn't wait just for that. I'm probably not going to do another one that I do casting on until this one is done. I think it may be a hot minute before that happens. So now we have another Malika, and the question is, what can we gear her out with? So we have a bunch of fire gems. We could try the Mace of Eruption. I think we could get away. We don't have any earth gems. What weapons do we have access to? Could try a Thunder Whip. She does have shock resistance. 10 shock resistance. Is 10 shock resistance enough to avoid the Thunder Whip? Anybody know? All right, I haven't watched you, experience whatever end you may have, gone through yet. So let's keep it spoiler free here. We just got to turn 21, I think. We just recorded 21 today. Yeah, I think we'll be okay. Oh, I don't have enough magic gems. Oh, I don't have any. I used air gems on something else. Let's see. I don't think a fire sword is going to do it. Maybe a burning blade. Let's try that. It's only 5 gems? Sure. I want a burning blade, and I need someone to make something else. The lion pelt. So then that one's moving. This guy has no troops left. He's going to go pick up troops. This guy has got some troops. He's successfully routed. How many dudes are left? Oh, how many dudes are left here? All the horsemen are dead. It's just Solus. I think he can win that. All right, the main one we're looking at here is the Malika. But I don't remember which province I sent her to. All right, so we managed to Iron Skin here first. That's hopefully going to keep him a lot safer from arrow fire. This is similar to the expansion that I did in, for Baratos, where you just have the priest and then a couple of heavy infantry. And the priest getting sniped is by far the biggest way that your infantry die, which is pretty obnoxious. I fought that throne, and it was not air elementals or trampling that got me. I managed to get a size 6 Melkart shot to death with arrow fire, which I was not prepared for. Wow, we still couldn't kill these undead. Okay. I'm kind of surprised. Undead are tough. All right, here is the Malika. So let's wait for her to do her little script, and then we'll take a look at her. So she's up against heavy cap, 25 protection. She's got a length 3 weapon to help. The Enkidu did have my number. They absolutely wrecked me. Mist form hopefully is going to go up here. Yeah, we managed to get Mist form up. And what I've seen generally is they do manage to break the glamour, but she mostly regens through this. Oh, jeez. There's an immolation. And then eventually she usually manages to route this stuff. Now this is not an insignificant investment, right? This is 10 gems. Is she routed? No, she's in there. She's just facing a weird direction. Okay, so she won, which is nice. No afflictions. Picked up an experience star and a heroic ability. And so she can keep right on expanding. And then our next one, let's give her the same script. Put her in the back. And she's going to have these 2 items. So again, this one is going helmetless, which is potentially dicey. I'm just trying. So the build, she's going to go against a lot of heavy cav. The original sort of motive behind this build and why we're trying it is, I think Balls had a guide for Nabob, but it's DE. It's for DE. So I think the items are cheaper, which is obviously not great necessarily overall for us trying it. I'm just sort of seeing whether or not I think it still works. This group looks sufficient. Go run into these undead again. And again, so you can see our treasury is building up, but that's okay. The goal here is, for this one, is just to sort of go through the basics of how this expansion kind of looks. We'll try another one next where we go a little bit harder on optimizing what we come out of this with. Yeah. Yes, exactly. Yeah, that's a big difference. So definitely need to be more budget versus what they were able to pull off in DE. And we'll see if this is even functional. Oh, I did not script her properly. That's I was reading it through, and they're like, "Yeah, you can have like 4 or 5 kits out in the first year." And I was like, "How are you finding the gems for that?" I also tried it with Awe, and regen seems to work so much better. Awe, it was not uncommon that they broke through, and then they managed to sort of pick her down. Yeah, I've been playing a couple of different like modded games, and I'm kind of excited to go back to a more normal game. It does help with afflictions too. Some of the stuff is crazy. Right to the back there. She's also a hero. He's got unequaled obesity. Always fun. Ah, yes. All right, turn 10. That's what, so I gotta say, I just finished playing as Porphyrion in Hellenica, and those are some enjoyable. The giants there are slave mages, and you can make 1 gem items, and it's absolutely insane. 60 enemy units seems like a lot of enemy units, but we're here to test. Whoa, this is a double. This would be an insane Malika to get in a real game. That's a double nature. That's Malika are 1 out of 5 for a nature, and then 10% 1 out of 5 again. I've wasted all of my luck in this game. Although it's a lot less relevant with our build with this this big wooden colossus, as they are nature capable, but that's an incredibly unlikely roll. But she can go ahead and make it. I do not have enough magic gems for that. I think she may actually go and site search. Maybe the best use of her time. To be fair, I don't know how much I can talk about luck. I've found the a construction site in 2 separate games, and I've only done like 10 multiplayer games or something. Maybe less than that. These guys are kind of good at dying. These ones in the corner. I don't know if maybe I'd be better off putting them in the middle. That way I don't have that corner there. Yeah, Air 5 would be insane too. I don't know if it actually matters. I always put them in the corner. I don't know if that actually matters, or if I'd be better off putting them in the center, or if it's just doesn't matter. You gotta love the shipwreckers. They make it fun. Yeah, I can't believe I didn't get a chance to finish the Fascia game where I had the steel ovens and shipwreckers on turn 1. What a wasted opportunity. Gonna be sad about that one for, halfway through Dom 6's life. I was shocked that nobody bid them. Yeah, Tangle Vines could be sad. This is a Lich, dang. I mean, you're the only person who is exempt from this problem. Like, you were literally last. You wouldn't have gotten them. But he did say he would, and then he didn't. Is this regenerating? Why is it regenerating already? Oh, because it has its unequaled obesity. He did say he would, and then he didn't. Alright, so this seems like it works okay. We're not killing people very fast. 27 damage, 15 attack. I would think that we would be doing a better job of slicing through people. I think Hinam said he was going to bid them, but not on turn 1. I think he said he was going to bid them later. But I would have to go back. Because Airmore had, I think, first crack at him. He was just messing with everybody. Are we missing here? We have 16 attack. Why are we not... Why is no one dying? I specifically requested it. There we go. That's better. That's true. Yeah, she's getting up there in fatigue. Now, theoretically, if she manages to bop somebody, she should have like 5 reinvigoration, because she has 2 from the Earth Bless, and then killing somebody, yeah, gives her another, I'm sorry, not 5, yeah, 3. Gives her another one. Luckily, she is not based on defense in general. I think I just watched that one. More bad omens. Okay. Turn 11. Search. I have not done a count, but let's see if we can sort of salvage what we're supposed to be at. Yeah, it's nice that they were helpful. See, you can always rely on a good Hinam. They're friendly cannibal giants. Okay, broke through there. Diplo could be one of the best and worst parts of the game. Sometimes pulling it off feels very enjoyable, but other times, right, people are against you. People ask you for things. They talk to you in ways that are not what you're after. Wow, these guys do not do well against lizards. Luckily the lizards ran because they're lizards, but looks like they're not going to run fast enough. And the shaman didn't run. Alright, noted. Lizards. Should not send Jangard at lizards. I don't like need to be watching these, but I'm just enjoying them. 2 experience stars on her now. Listening to garbage in the cold, yes. Those cheeky lizards. Yeah, we just watched, our Faithers and I just did turns 20 and 21 where you had that big fight. Cookies. I don't want to spoil exactly with whom for, you know, the rest of the viewing audience, but that was a good one. That's good. They are honorary pop kill. Hinnom is one of those nations where you get like trapped in your fort for a second, and you're like, oh no, my fort has 100 unrest. When did this happen? Oh, it gets better? Oh, good. We were watching it transpire, both, and our pace and I was like, I don't know if this is gonna work. And we're like, oh, no, it did not work. Did I just watch this one? Yes. Ah, Ring of Fire, look at that. Luckily, we're already pretty much immune to fire with our 22 native fire resistance. Hopefully we can get this guy to breathe fire on his own dudes. Or does he not breathe fire? Maybe he doesn't breathe fire, he's just a little lizard. No, he's fire flare, yeah. Breathe some fire. Yeah, we're still, we haven't really gotten to the Hinnom part too much yet. We'll see what happens there. Oh, it's a brand effect, not a breath, okay. Okay, so, I was doing this kind of half-assed, but let's see where we're at. It's turn, so this is pretty small. It's turn 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. We made it! This technically counts as a successful expansion. 20 by 12. That is funny. Got all the gold and nowhere to spend it. Now, this is obviously not reflective of a real game. In a real game, no one is going to let me wander over like this far. But what do I have thoughts on? Oh, yeah. So for a Forced War, if you're paying more attention, right? So we were not doing a good job here because I was just going through quickly. Right? I still have 3,000 gold in the treasury. You could make a bunch of labs. You could recruit a bunch of foreign rec guys. For your First War, you have a... Oh, yeah, sorry. You have a number of equipped Malika. So I currently have 2 out there. We have enough gems. We can make another one. So that's 3. Those are going to be able to raid, I think, just about any amount of PD and potentially super combatant certain player armies. You also have recruit anywhere scouts. So you definitely want to see what people are doing to see, like, you could try and bump somebody with these, kill their army, and then go from there. And then research-wise, you've already got Alt 3. If you had more mages getting your act, you know, more labs, more mages, getting the act together, your research would be better. But you could get up to enchantment, enchantment 3, and then you've got Alt 4 and enchantment 4 are sort of right on the way. You could look to do flaming arrows and arrow guide, or wind guide. Yeah, you don't get any scouts. No scouts for you. So I think that this is a reasonable endpoint. There's obviously, we have 3,000 gold. There's lots and lots of room to try and like play this optimally. And I imagine in a real game where you're sort of really trying, you're going to want to be just like double checking testing on each of these provinces. We picked up a limp. To make sure that you think your Malika are going to win, 10 out of 10 times. Just because they are obviously very expensive. I think it would be nice to fit in a Malika to do site searching at some point earlier than this. It's tricky. You have a lot of things you want. You could also, if you can get those labs up, you can maybe get them site searching with the Sahirs, the human Sahirs. They're foreign rec only. The Hermit Sahirs. Because like these guys can do a decent job of finding some stuff. You could send the God out to site search. He'll obviously do a great job. It's kind of expensive in terms of turns. The Castro Gartha. It's funny. They need it, I'm sure. You can send the God out to site search. He'll obviously do a good job. You don't have a ton of ways to search the nature path, and you have no ways to search the blood path. But, searching the blood path is sort of whatever early on. You also, I think you're only going to research with the God until you have like the first couple of key research objectives, because this is your blood access. So I think you want to get this guy blood hunting as soon as you think you can get away with it. And then when you get a free minute, right, you can research to blood 4 or blood 5 for the Gulas, and then go right into the Gula production. Castro, let's see. Omniscience. We are very, it's true. Our temple was destroyed. Our lab was destroyed. I don't know how good they are underwater. They have no poison resistance, and underwater tends to have a lot of poison. Death baskets are, definitely up for contention. I think the problem with expanding underwater is you need to find a water mage first. You have no water access until Conjuration 8. Even though you have water gems, you can't spend them on anything. Which is a little tricky. I do want to point out, and I don't know exactly how much people think this is or isn't worth it. We have growth 3 in our capital. And I don't think, none of it's from events. It's just, I think just from this site increasing growth, which I didn't think was how that worked. I thought it would only get us up to growth 1. But if it is in fact the case, because I don't think either of these bring us growth. It's just the site. So if you don't take growth in your build, you're getting a lot of the early benefits of growth. Okay, fair. Yeah, we're only on Dom. I think we're on Dom 6 here. So Dom 6 looks like it's low enough that the site is, at least for now, keeping this in check and keeping us up at growth 3, because this has 30,000. Okay, 2 to 3 scales up. Yeah, we were growth neutral for the build. This is 30,000 population. The whole rest of our empire. Okay, this is a really good province. We have some really good provinces here, but that can be worth a lot of small provinces in terms of helping. Yeah, they do have Fortune Teller, which is nice. So we can hop out of this. We made our 12 by 20, and there's a lot of room for benefits. Let's go ahead and bring up the God, or we'll just recreate it. It'll be easier. Let's see what we're after. So in this case, it's this guy, 4, 4, 4, 7, 4. So Farcaster is definitely a little greedy. I think you could conceivably not do Farcaster. That costs the most points too, because these guys don't have this chassis doesn't have Astral built in. So this Farcaster is costing us, let's see, we're at 49, a little over 100 points. Oh yeah, you gotta use up all your luck in the test game. That's how it goes. And I was this. Yeah. This is what we were just testing with. But the Farcast, so the Farcaster's nice. I know it's a little greedy, but you definitely want this, like the Earth Astral Cross Path is really nice. You have the Earth Astral Path, but not at a high level. It's like 2-1 or something. Not on these guys. On the Sahir. No, it's 1-1 at best. Oh no. Well, it's okay. People have things to do. So like I think having access to Earth Astral here is big. To get this guy has full slots. So he can get up to Astral 6 if you need him to do rings. They are long range, but I don't think they're like crazy long range. So Sulfur Haze is range 30. I'm just thinking of some. Magma Bolts is range 30. Let's see. Scorching Wind, one of our uniques, is 40. Smokeless Flame is 35. So it's not that you necessarily have like terribly short ranges, but you can put your guys out of range of some of the enemy magic. Thunderstrike is 100. Absolutely true. You do not need it to cast Thunderstrike. It does help with buffing as well. You can get a couple extra casts of, Legions of Steel, Strength of Giants, Luck, etc. on your dudes from a little farther away. Yeah, we didn't lose. Well, let's see. We didn't lose any of the big mages. We did get one of our little guys sniped, but that happens. Yeah, I guess Farcaster, I probably could have put my guys farther up, actually, and still pulled off the Bless. Because they do have the Farcaster. I mean, this station is perfectly good at Thunderstriking. Not those guys. But your Sahir do a fine job, right? They start as Air 2, and then you put Storm up with one of your Malakas. Any Malaka can cast Storm, just, it may cost an extra gem, but you can do it. And be quite proficient at it. I don't know. The AI, I don't know if it'll keep trying to cast fire spells or if it will appropriately take into account that once Storm is up, fire spells are not a good idea. But you have a lot of fire magic you won't really be able to access too much. Yeah, agreed. You don't want to do them both at the same time. Because the storm just crushes fire evos. And I think you have to pick the times when you want to do one or the other. And you could also mix it up on your opponent, right? You can do one battle and then switch to the other in the next battle. You can kind of keep them off guard a little bit. But let's see, scales-wise, how did that feel? It seemed fine. We still managed to get the full number of sacreds, even with Sloth 3. It's going to be really hard to accumulate large numbers of our Adites, but it sort of is what it is. Farcaster can obliterate friendly troops. That's true. So in the guide that I read on this, their suggested front line is the Adite Archer. Because they have 18 protection, and then you put Legions of Steel, and you can do protection buffs, and they can go up to like 20 something protection. And because they're archers, they won't move forwards. And so they'll bring the enemy in, and then you can blast them at close range. Or closer range. Now, I have not tried that. This seems it sounds great, but we have Sloth 3, and this is what it suggested as well. We have Sloth 3, and these guys are 37 resources apiece. So, yeah, front line of Falcons. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you get the birds. They help out. The birds will do a lot to make it so the enemy gets strung out, and then you kind of incinerate them with evocations as they walk closer. But I definitely think that you are at some risk of blowing up your own troops. We could try and see if they can thug. So the main difference, so the Janimir are going to have either 2 fire, 2 air, or 1 earth. In terms of differences between them. So I don't think the 2 fire guys are going to be able to pull it off too well, just because they just don't have any of them. They don't have most of the magic. They're not going to get, so only the earth guy is going to get Iron Skin, obviously, and only the double air is going to get Mist Form. And Mist Form without Iron Skin is going to get popped, I think. So I don't think that it's going to work. Plus, even if it does work, and again, it might, but if it does work, yeah, you could use an air gem. If you ending up with 2 of these guys is not any cheaper than Amalika. Amalika's 480, and 2 of these guys is 560. And these guys, eventually, right, we are going to have other forts. We can always get as many of these as we want. The Malika are going to be limited. Strength versus Blood Surge. I think a big part of the Blood Surge... So I like Blood Surge for expanding. It's going to help... It helps our thugs, but it also helps our Janimir a lot, or Jan Guard. It's a lot of like cheap stats compared to just strength, right? Like they deal 21 damage. They're going to do a decent job of cutting through indies anyway. And then once they blood surge, they'll be fine as well. And that's going to help give them defense skill and reinvigoration. I think it'll help keep them alive. I think you definitely could go strength. That would be better against players. Probably, right? Because players are more likely to have, stuff that we care, stuff that's hard to kill. Yeah, I think you can play Naba a couple different ways. The big Sahir are excellent mages, so you don't need Malika, but the Sahir are awesome. Playing this awake, right? You're definitely going to have a more limited number of the Sahir. Just because you don't have as much money. And that's not necessarily just for expansion, but that's just throughout the game. Now, what I'm also thinking of is in Lucid's tournament from last year, right? Nabal went scales and got absolutely just picked on by everybody. It seemed like everyone was like, yeah, Scales Nabal can't be allowed to live. Almost like they were Nazca. Now, they had some bad luck, right? I think they got their fort killed by barbarians or something in a luck province. I don't want to say that's the only way it could have gone, but Nabal definitely seems like they might be a target. And I like that this gets us this, pseudo Titan to help out. They did do some. It's been a long time since I watched it, but they did do some very greedy things. But I don't know. I don't remember. Maybe you may remember better. If okay, that's fair. You got to recruit some troops. I just remember thinking that all their neighbors were like, "Yeah, it's time to kill Nabal." It was like Ashdod and Sai, and somebody else. But it's true. They were exceptionally greedy. Yes. I don't know. So yeah, I definitely think that Scales Nabal works. So this is, I mean, this is a different approach, and I'm not saying that it's a better approach. I think that you are better defended early, but if you can figure out how to survive with the scales early, we're hitting prey vibes. Can't do that, especially in a tournament finals game. That's how you get eaten real fast. Everyone's like, "Oh boy, food." But again, it's been a long time. They could have made a lot more troops. I'm trying to remember if admitted, that's, yes, you kind of had some prey vibes, although not the most. There's at least one other player who had more prey vibes than you did. But yeah, that quick 2v1 was difficult. I don't know. I mean, do you guys think that you can hold with scales like reliably against neighbors? Like I that's my concern. If you get like 2v1'd early, like even if you expand fine, right? You expand normally. He came at you fast. Like if you expand normally, you produce a lot of the troops. I hope it's a good one. Yeah, I mean, you definitely have to scale the foreign recruit stuff. I mean, yeah, scales may just be better off. I just was experimenting. I've never played the nation before, so it's hard for me to get too far into the theory crafting. But I will admit I can be a sucker for a thug expansion strategy. It just seems so fun. All right, well, let's go back to a scales build then and just take a look. I think I like these Beetles for scales because they're cheap. The new magic is 40, which is fine. Imprisoned. You don't get, I do like on that awake, you can get into blood a lot faster. Oh, Yomi. I have never played Yomi. It is making the items is definitely kind of annoying. That is very true. But a lot of the items work. Or like a lot of the different gem types work, right? You just need some like combinations because you can make armor out of earth, air. If you get lucky with some nature, you can make it with some nature. I don't remember if there was any fire armor good enough. I don't think we tested that far. But you can fiddle around with some stuff. Let's see, 6. What would we need to do? Okay, we would need to cut a lot of scales from here. You could also, I mean, you can go no blood, and you can say 30's pretty late for my Beetle to wake up. I'm relying on the worthy hero's hero. You have like a 50% chance of a hero showing up. You could go Misfortune. You can. It's just so sad. Like you could do this. This would probably work fine too. Obviously not that. You go poison resistance. Yeah, the regen's going away. I just hadn't gotten rid of it yet. You can do, with low light vision, you could potentially do like solar eclipse. I would agree. I think this is just like all the stats. I think you can honestly dump order a lot and then get your luck back. Like, it's good for the camels, but it seems like you can get a lot of camels anyway. I mean, like, you don't need one particular territory to be producing 10 camels. You can have 4 territories, each producing 2 camels. And they've got great map movement. You can tend to pull them together. I don't know if you need this much growth either. I've been enjoying taking 2 growth. One for Naba, you have the site, so you're going to go ahead and get extra growth anyway. So your capital's going to have that full 3 growth. But 2, there's a lot of thrones with growth effects. Let's see. Yeah, the Desert Warriors, they definitely can be buffed up. Kind of a high damage scimitar. They're more prod than recruitment, but if we're like once we are 3 prod, we could still be recruitment limited. I don't know that Blood Surge is actually any good on this build either. Because you're not expanding with the Sacreds, and Blood Surge later on, like the 1 reinvigoration is only whatever for your casters. Maybe it still helps your thugs. Larger. Yeah, Prod 3 is for your giants. Within 3 of each other. Let's see. I mean, these guys, so if you're going for the archers cost, 2.5 times resources what they do recruitment. If you're going to keep them within 3, you'd have to do something like this, which is probably fine too. Again, I don't know if I actually love this blood. Hordes of stuff, no giants. Okay. The birds are very helpful. That is true. Order 3 prod 1. Order 3 prod 1. That's a lot of order. I don't know, I guess so. I've only done a handful of the of expansion tests, but I didn't feel like I was dying to get more of the troops with extra order points, but maybe I could have. I mean, you could do something like this. If you don't want giants at all, you can maybe switch them a little bit, but I don't know if you want to do that. This bless feels very small, but that's not the end of the world. You have some good stuff. Your only way into blood is scout hunting and luck on the hero. A blood fountain. Let's see. Blood fountain. Okay, so none of the other blesses. And then you're just gonna have higher, like, you have max scales. Oops. I mean, that's 100% scales. And you do blood surge and a health. I mean, you can't get more scale. Well, I guess technically you could lower this back down, but you can't really get more scales than this. And then you have the fountain. The fountain hunting your caps feels bad, right? Like, that's going to cost a lot of income, but I guess it's okay. Like, it's a very annoying amount of points. Like, it keeps hiding itself. Something like this then, maybe. All right, we can try. We're on all in blood. This is not the first time I have taken a blood fountain that has 6 points of blood and nothing else. Well, I don't. Yeah, I mean, if we have to go, if we're going to 6, then we just have 7 for free. And I don't think there's much. There's no way to squeeze anything else out of this. All right, let's just go with scales. And yeah, we're just all in on foreign recruitment. I guess let's actually, we can name this something else in case I want to compare. Of course, the last time I took this blood fountain, it had unholy weapons as our only bless. I mean, I don't know if I want the labs directly around the capital. I think we definitely want a lot of labs. I think one of the things you can do with these extra labs is or like lots of labs, is you can put them on things where you only actually need like a handful. Like normally a random N1 mage, like indie mage, you're not very excited to see. And you're not gonna... There's a hero. And you're not going to want to put a lab down on that, even if you really need nature mages. Like, you might, but it's going to be kind of obnoxious. But with this, you can put labs down on those nature mages, and then get a handful of them, and then you can go back to making mages you actually care about, which is pretty nice. Giants in front. Put this guy up a little bit farther. Yeah, the hermits help defend, and eventually you can get those god block or djinn blocks that do a lot of work too. What are we doing? What is conjure? What's a conjuration 2? Storm power? But you can't do storm that way. I could see Conjuration 3 and then Enchantment 4. What is it, Conjuration 2? I mean, I'm not terribly concerned about it for these purposes. Leave giants at home. Oh, Phoenix power at 3. Okay. Fire ants, biggest power spike, exactly. I think we can maybe, let's see. So there's a lot of indies present in all of these. So I don't really want to leave any giants home. Like for our next expansion, yeah, we're obviously going to be very resource constrained if we want to do it that way. These guys cost a little bit fewer, but we're not going to get very many. All camels, all the time. We're on the bird plan. No, can't leave home without the giants. Let's see. 74 resources versus 30. I like 74 resources. 1/3 camels, 2/3 desert warrior. All right, let's try that. So we definitely have a lot more recruitment points than we have resources. So that would lead me to think that I should have done 1/3. At least just for this turn. We'll see how that works going forwards. And these extra scouts, I'm not super concerned with at this time, but I think in a real game it's helpful. Maybe camels first round. Okay, yeah. I think we just need a few more resources. Otherwise, we're just burning a ton of recruitment points. Okay, fair enough. More camels. It's all camels all the time. All right, Burbs, go get him. Get this guy right here. I'm highlighting him. No. So I think I maybe one of my giants farther up. I would like the indies to shoot these guys, right? They have protection and shields, and these guys have neither. We hit the mage. Being on fire does not look good for this guy's health. We did lose. Oh yeah, we lost half of them. Sparse line or lots of small skirmish squads. Okay. We lost some of our elites, so let's reconfigure this then. The desert guys are undisciplined. But at this point, I can put this guy on guard probably because... No, they're undisciplined. But so I could split them at this point. Let's get back. Sparse line or small skirmish. Now these guys I should put in skirmish formation because they have skirmisher. So they take, I think, right? They don't take a penalty. Yes, I should have put them in skirmish formation to avoid arrows. Let's see, 50 malicious archers, heavies, 40 lion tribe, sparse line for camels. If there are archers, fair enough. Does that work with skirmisher? Oh yeah, sparse line, okay. Alright, we'll try them out against these archers. Now we have already, we have start recruiting. We can get a lot of desert warriors. What do you like for this foreign recruitment? So here we have, in this particular province, because it has a lot of resources, we can get a lot more of these desert warriors. Back at home. We're still not using up all our recruitment points, but that's okay. I think we need to do this turn. Because I think this should be an effective group that can go out. 14 camels. 20 camels plus these guys. They should be able to fight these horse tribe. I think. Or maybe these. I don't know, we'll see. Ooh, the Carrion Mire. That's the kind of territory you want to own, is the Carrion Mire. Yeah, I probably should have moved out the guy. We'll get there next turn. Those archers are still, haven't quite figured out what they're doing yet. Nice. Alright, wow, we still managed to lose 3 camel riders there. I don't know, did they get into melee? No, it looks like it was mostly the archers. Yeah, I would have had plenty of money. I should have moved this guy out. Do it this turn, though. Spread them out more. Okay. Alright, we'll try it that way. Go against the bear tribe. Alright, so let's try and do this one correctly then. Alright, this guy can get shot. I don't want that to happen. He can command so he can only command 2 squads. Should I be trying to take the morale penalty here? And split them into more squads? Or just sort of accept that they're going to take some extra shots? Like, is this what we're looking at? Okay, if we're doing archer trading, the morale penalty is worth it. Let's see what we're up against, I suppose. Go into melee, we want fewer squads. Okay. So like this province, militias, archers, and heavy infantry, 50 units. It seems like a decent number of archers. Is it more important to split the desert warriors or the camels? Okay, the commanders give extra birds. And let you do more squad. They're different commanders? Leadership 60. Okay, camels. Okay. So camels on both sides. They're pretty spread out. And I've got my block of archer infantry in the middle. And I want this guy on like holder fire. Oh, hire extra commanders. I see. Yes, that makes sense. Even more. So we're at the 0 penalty. Even more squads. We could go even. If we go, we could go for a 3rd squad. Now we're into getting close to the small squad penalty. Okay. I'm recruiting up our camels. The Bogaroos game was hilarious. I don't know if I'm brave enough to try that. It did work. It definitely did work. But I feel like there are worlds where it didn't work. Okay, we're sneaking. Send this out over here. I think this waits. We're not trying to send one out every single turn. It was reliable? Okay. Pretty okay, there we go. Yeah, I think this is 2 turns. Like this can actually wait here a turn. It was very cool. There's definitely no doubting that. Alright, so we shouldn't be as bunched up here, which I think looks to be the case. Got some good bird distractions. There may be too many enemies here for us to handle. We're I feel like the orcs in the Return of the King, when he tries to shoot at the Rohirrim and then is surprised when he does not get off enough shots. Oh, we are gonna lose this real bad. Yikes. Okay. Important lesson. Scout the enemy. There were 62 of them here. 26 guys is not enough guys. Fair enough. This is why you practice. I think this is definitely a much more finesse needed nation than most of what I usually play. You think so? Doesn't he just get immediately killed? And he gives us a whole extra 1 penalty because he has to be at a separate squad then? Or I guess maybe if you put him in with the undisciplined group, he runs forward because he doesn't know any better. Like 10 tries? Okay. I was doing something scales E. I don't think it was yesterday. I think it was the day before. I definitely have not got it down though. I would not join a game with it just yet. I've got a lot more testing to do. I feel like, you know, testing expansion is the one part of the game that is entirely within your control. It doesn't mean that the game is going to go that way. You can have terrible indies. But I don't know. What do people think about deploying super close? We could try it. I'll take the same group. That was this group. All right, let's try deploying close. See what happens. That's what I'm thinking. I'm better off not letting them try it, or not letting them get too close, but you know, I'm willing to try it. We're just testing expansion here. Because of the birds. I mean, yeah, it makes sense with the birds. Cave seems bad. Let's try it over here. Died over here. Commander lived though. Let's send him back. What to do with my camelry? Already sneaking up. Okay. I think I made those commanders a little bit too soon. How much does one of these commanders cost versus one of the guys? Okay, 65 gold. They are not cheap. Yeah, I do have a ton of money. But the money's gonna go away someday. Oh, let's try recruiting in the capital. That'll probably help spend some money. We're making one lab this turn. Okay, so that's all of our... So we can, in fact, spend all of our money this turn. Okay. Let's see how this went. All right, this is forward deployment. The Adite archers? Okay. So the birds are definitely doing a good job of distracting them. Let's fast forward. So the heavy infantry look like they're going to make it. Okay. All right, so we routed partially. Maybe they wouldn't have routed if they were in two, or they probably wouldn't have all routed if they were in two squads. They just took too much damage. Too many losses. Misfortune +3. Toads are raining from the sky. Somebody is casting Rain of Toads on me. It's the one... Who's my enemy? Who spawned into this game? Arco. Yep. They're the ones. Okay, this party is not expanding. They did not run. Okay, let's put these in, and then we're gonna split up by squad. I guess I should have sent an extra camel rider leader home, which I could have done, and then I could have more ably split these into squads, but I did not do that. I'm gonna need to get a whole flow chart. Whole flowchart to make this work. Yeah, well, the heavy infantry were not afraid. They didn't get shot at all, which makes it hard for them to be afraid. Long dead. Yeah, it seems like maybe 2 commanders is the that's what we're supposed to be doing here. Although I only need 1 of these. Let's leave 1 of these here. This guy can grab the camels. Start recruiting here. So here, yeah, like I think this is the kind of case where you just recruit one of these, like one of these nature guys, and get them out sight searching. And like you want, you're gonna make like 2, but it doesn't matter. Move this guy here. You go home too. I'd love to get a Sahir early to sight search, but I don't think we're quite there yet. Yeah, that's fair. Infinite labs. Guess we'll just walk on to the next spot to make a lab. Although I definitely feel like I am spending down the money here. Yeah, getting 280 gold helped with that. Yeah. Is there any easy indies here? Long dead in a cave. Those are not easy. Can these beat Lion Tribe? I don't know. We'll see. Oh, they have to go around. That's kind of a pain. Maybe we team up on these horse tribe with our capital. I guess this guy preaches because he has nothing better to do. I feel like I definitely want some front line to deal with. Heavy infantry. The heavy cavalry actually get kind of wrecked by the birds, but it'd be nice to get at least some heavy infantry to help us out, especially because we're able to get so much archery out of foreign recruit. Let's max out foreign recruit. I've already got one there. Giant archers. We can get 5. I think the giant archers are something that if they come later. I don't think you can make enough of these to expand with. They cost 37 resources. Okay, let's see. Oh, I snuck on here. That's not what I meant to do. Attack current province. That's my real bane. I guess we'll search here when I'm for lab. My real bane with stealthy nations is when you're not paying attention and you sneak instead of attack. Yeah. They do seem awfully hard to mass. What is happening to me? Why are we being assassinated? This is outrageous. Why do I have a body of missile protect? I guess I got that on a from whatever it was he was doing when I attacked. Oh, a gem deposit. It's just the all archer battle until the birds fly in. All right, that looked extremely effective. I can't believe this guy is alive. That worked very well. Gotta snipe the ghoul and shot, or this guy. The Mound King. Okay, seemed effective enough. And then we got assassinated. Alrighty then. When you get assassinated, you get assassinated. What are you gonna do? So we're definitely still able to spend current, like, you know, I've expanded badly. It's turn 8, and I've only got like 6 provinces or something. Okay, I have more than 6, but Dom 6 Asphodel, the growth thing could be big, or like the forest thing. I don't know. Being able to like, get into higher levels and like they start with extra growth could be really interesting. My understanding is that they are one of the groups, or one of the nations that is sort of known to have a problem. And so I kind of expect it's more likely that they get some attention. Oh, funny, yeah. I have fought Asphodel once, and my main opponent was Starvation. Because I did not make enough, or indeed any, yes, do that, any of my wine bags, or bags of endless wine or whatever, and then I managed to starve my entire Phaeacian army, and they were very sad. And there was no one to blame but me. Don't have enough gold. I guess just gel. Isn't DE Asphodel like one of the best nations? I've not played a DE game besides some random messing around in single player. It was all right. Well, you don't need to rub it in. I think at one point they all moved together, so they all starved together and they count as one army. we did, the birds have not saved us from knights, although they did a little bit, I guess. We lost all of our desert warriors, just about. I really like, if you're going to fight the knights, the birds do a lot of work, but I feel like having some of these elite soldiers to actually finish them off is really nice. Oh, we lost a sheik, too. It was, no. Oh, don't do my poor Phaeacians like that. The giant was trucking along. All right, Cookies was right. Apparently, you could just send one giant out there and he does fine. Yeah, M.A. Chaka is quite a thing. Turn 9. More camels. Sure. The AI does do the weird pause after killing things. That is very true. What have I got here? 50 enemy heavy infantry and cavalry? I don't think so. This group should have probably wandered out already. They can go kill those heavy cav, maybe. Too many scouts. Need to get more sheiks. Alright, this whole like buying tons of commanders things feels very very foreign to me. But I get the point. Just it's there's a word in game design for when you put bad options in there it's like ivory tower game design or something, or you put bad options in there on purpose so that people can learn to pick good options. I don't know how well respected it is nowadays though. All right, how many battles can this giant survive? This could be it. He just got hit for like 19, I think. No, he hit somebody else for 19. No, we lost him. Sure. Yeah, for a game like this, I don't know that it's like necessary that everyone has to be at exactly the same power level, especially because the multiplayer, like free-for-all format tends to kind of bring people back in. And I think having handicaps is still super fun. Like having unique nations that have to deal with goofy stuff is definitely fun. Like if I wanted to buff late age Phalegra, right? I don't think that the way to look is like reducing the Dominion unrest. Like, sure, that may be an easy way to buff them, and it may help, but that's kind of like a unique thing about them. You know, I'd look at other things first. Just because the asymmetric nature of the game is, I think, a big part of what makes it fun. Alright, we kicked him off. Alright, we're just gonna roll in with 45 undisciplined dudes. They are not gonna win that fight. Maybe they can beat the bear tribe. Yeah, that one went better. Alright. Turn is it? It's turn 10. I've been very lazy in doing this right. Do I have anybody at home? Yeah, I do have one. Yeah, I think yes. Buffing Phlegra's starting army is definitely one of the places I would start. And I've never played the actual LA Phlegra. I have only played the Hellenica Phlegra, which was a lot of fun. But I took an Awake Expander. Somebody mentioned that they were going to talk to them about it. I don't know. I'm not 100% up to date on what is or is not confirmed, but I don't remember hearing that that was actually like a confirmed thing. But it would make a lot of sense. Move here, actually. I know, so there was a discussion today on bad starting armies, and I know a number of people picked Marignan as the worst. So I don't know if Marignan needs a buff, but their starting army needs a buff. I don't remember who it was. I think I was just unlucky on the assassins. They just there's a Queen of Naboth. I think I don't remember who it was. Somebody in the Dom 6 discussion thread on the Discord server was like, you should never feel forced by the nation's starting army to take an Awake Expander. And I think that's what I want to be. I think Awake Expander should be an option, and it should be an option that plenty of nations consider if they want to have a bigger start. But you shouldn't look at your starting army and be like, I need an Awake Expander, or I need an Incarnate Bless, or I am not. It's like not happening. Like, it can be close. I don't know. That sounds. You should at least have some kind of option where your starting army is good enough with like a little bit of support to try and get you out there into the world. The Queen of the Naboth is a surprisingly normal Malika. She has basically either +1 fire or +1 earth path, depending on how you want to think about it. Mostly +1 earth, because regular Malikas can only get 2 earth without getting a very lucky random. But she's not. She's mostly just a Malika. So I will say I've not been doing this particularly well, in the sense of expanding as quickly as we could, and there's a lot of practice to be done, yada yada yada. But we do not have. Oh, does she? That'd be big. She's a tax collector. An income buff. She went and visited Ashdod. I don't see an income buff. Okay. Yeah, just a tax collector. Which is not necessarily nothing, but I don't know how relevant it is. Yeah, it's nice. It's not a huge deal. What on earth am I doing here? Why do I have 1,200 Kilomanders? All right, this is the flunge of can we hit expansion goals? Okay, we definitely are not going to win that one. It's okay. Keep these guys alive. Just peer pressure. All right, won that one. Won that one. We won that one. I mean, we lost a decent number of guys, but fire gems. We have too many commanders. All right, so it's turn 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You can see it's harder to count them because there's 1,000 commanders. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. So we missed the mark, but it was the first one of the earlier goes in doing this, and I will admit that I do not practice quite as well here when I am talking and reading the chat. Although the ideas are obviously very helpful, but my ability to put them into tab on this to count. Ah, okay, fair enough. But yeah, I mean, this clearly could have been done so much better. We have a pretty good number, I feel like, of troops running around. We have not had so much gold that we've been able to put out a lot of extra forts. Okay, well, yes. No, I think this definitely works. I'm just bad at it, or did not do well this time. I'm sure that you could squeeze out more provinces with practice. How much gold did you have for labs? Yes, this is why it's practice. Two labs, 0 forts. Okay. Yeah, I believe that. 1 million commanders. Yeah, I believe that too. Tons of fully stealthy armies. Did you have any research? I mean, how much research do I have? I have 1-3. I have a 3.5. It's not great. He is very good at defending the caps. 200 camels. It's a lot of camels. And we have a lot of troops running around. Not all camels, but research is bad. I'm just thinking of like the nations in the age, right? So like you've got all these camels, and then Mukaribs. All right, I gotta double check my names. That's the big guy, right? So why the Mukarib in the cap instead of the Karib? They have the same amount of research. And I mean, the fortune telling is fine, but we are luck 3. Or I don't know if you were in yours, but seems like unnecessary. Like you obviously you want some at some point, but I do wonder. I bet there's some way to fit in a Sahir from the cap or a Malika from the cap to get site searching going. I mean, yeah, I guess if you're going to use them to fight, that's fair. They do more than an Earth one. That's fair. And yes, and Scalaria. Okay. That makes sense. I mean, yeah, so this, again, Lucid posted it too. This clearly is a perfectly viable way to open. In comparison to the other build we did, right, you're obviously going to have a lot more gold as it goes on. You have a lot more troops. The way at least I did it here, you have a lot fewer Malika. You're going to have... I don't know if you have more or less infrastructure. I mean, presumably... I think as of this turn, you seem like you have less infrastructure, perhaps, because you are making a ton more troops. But certainly as the game goes on, having perfect scales is going to get you hugely larger amounts of infrastructure than having completely trash scales. You don't have a Titan to defend you. Oh no, thanks for joining. I was gonna sign off pretty soon too. It's getting late for me. I was just gonna cap this off. But yeah, I mean this definitely works. I imagine certainly for a larger game, I think this is where you'd want to go. But I wouldn't be surprised if on like a 9-player game, you might be better off with the other one. I am not going to do another expansion. I've got to cool down before bed. Too much blue light. Gotta go read a book. But I hopefully I'll be on again this week if I get the chance. Maybe we'll keep doing this. I think what I'm gonna do, if I think I want to try and get at least I'm gonna try and get a game done streaming, or like put a game up, right, which I'm gonna stream, which I think is gonna be Nabaa. If I don't see a game to join, I might host one, and I'm gonna put the disclaimer that if Dom 6 comes out, anybody who joins when Dom 6 comes out, there's no obligation to continue playing. And I'll probably do like a 9-player game, so it's faster. If it comes to that, we'll see. I want to be confident in the expansion first, so we're not there yet. But yeah, I mean, full scales works. It makes a lot of sense. It's definitely managing these archers is definitely looks like it's a treat. Yeah, we still have a few months, but if you play like a 16-player game, yeah, Cataclysm would help. But like once you get to turn 40, or even sometimes sooner, right? People want to move to 48-hour turns. It can go real slow. I mean, I just finished playing a game. It was on turn 70 something, and it started in May. So it's been like 3 months, and that one's been moving pretty fast. That was with no 48-hour turns. So I was just thinking, keep it a little small, keep it a little fast. People can ideally you have it done before Dom 6 comes out. But we'll see if I need to do that or not. But anyway, thanks for the Sharlama? Is that a nation? Oh, turn 150 is a big yikes. I just got my real Yay game vote ended because everybody gave up. I don't know what turn we were on. It's like 80 or something, and everyone's like, "Nah, we're not gonna play anymore." On Clockwork, okay. Got it. Okay. I obviously didn't recognize it. I was happy enough to be out of it too. That I was just about to get my Relier stuff ready to really try and make a play for land, and I was like, you know what, this is gonna be a lot of work. Half the people were staling, including the person who had the most provinces. The person who had the most thrones on the other side of the world, I wasn't even near them. 30 by turn 12. There we go. All right, it's very doable. Just gotta practice. Is that on the fountain here? Yeah, same build. Okay. All right, same build. So it is doable. Just gotta. That's the new target. 30 by 12 on the. Other YouTube. Okay, I'll have to go and look at that. Let's see. Yeah, there you go. Oh, and you've got the queen as well. It's funny. Yeah. Yeah, Yep. All right. Good night, everybody. I'm taking off. Adios.